Sometimes repetition is unlearning, and that you will understand tonight. We have come together that Sister felt that Dr. Blair and I were essentially connected in the message that we've been trying to convey to our brothers and sisters. And I am very happy to be again a participant in that. I had put together a few things here that I had labeled and called transmissions. And since I don't have much time, none of us do, that I would want to put it down and set it for the Akashic records. For those who understand what I'm talking about, those who don't, you will. We are about to participate in light. And scientifically, we will know that light is the particulate matter of the ineffable mind. Particulate matter is, if I were to take this piece of paper and set it afire, the smoke that would be emanating from it would contain particulate matter. Do you understand that? Well, the infinite mind, once it projects itself into the void, its presence in the void begins to act on darkness. And as the infinite mind penetrates the darkness, as you read in your Bible, the presence of the divine mind that you call God begins to burn the darkness. And the particulate matter is light. It'll sink in. But this is where we're going today. We're going to decipher God. Because we are God. Hallelujah. Give praise. You see, without us, and hold on, without us, God could not know itself. Now see what's happening now. I've just assigned responsibility to you. A lot of people said, I'm going to live and then I'm going to die over it. Let's live. Come on, you're going to die anyway. There is no death in ultimate life. There is only continuum. There is only change. You are here. This is a responsibility. You have taken on the coat of flesh for a reason. You see, the reason why you don't know that, the reason why you have lost the instinct for the knowledge, the pure knowledge and the direct knowledge of God, is because of something that I have come to call the Lucifer matrix. See, the Lucifer matrix, Lucifer was not a person. You got to get that out of your mind. The European has anthropomorphized Lucifer because he does not want you to understand what Lucifer is. Lucifer is a programming. It's a matrix. And the fallen elders have been busy keeping it up because the redemption cycle that is your inheritance is coming. And that the great battle in heaven has been already won. And that you have already been redeemed. But you don't know it yet. Because you see, light takes time to travel to you. And all information comes on vectors of light. So those who lost the battle is here trying to set up shop to win it in another time continuum. But they are here. They are those who are here. Listen to me, this is better than any story they could make up. There are those of us here that's getting ready for that battle. All of you all here tonight is not by any accident. Why do you think you trudged through this to come here? You think you had nothing else to do? You are here because that battle is now taking place. It has not yet reached you. You are in the wake of it. Just like any ship. Have you been on the beach and you have seen a ship pass by and sitting on the shore, you begin to see the waves begin to swell, and all of a sudden you see more waves come up. That is the wake from the ship, yes or no? Took time to get to you though, didn't it? Well, that's the way the light beams are coming in. It's taking time, but you're beginning to feel the battle because you feel frustration, you feel anger, you feel helplessness. You want to lash out, but you can't. But you are getting ready to participate. The lines have been drawn. The battle will be fought on this plane. Telethought communications is being produced by the modulation of gravitational waves. The gravitational waves carry the codings of light intelligence from the larger clusters of universes. Just follow me. One who is healthy, one who is honest, one who is pure of thought, will receive modulated gravitational wave factors that are sent from higher evolutionary master intelligences of light. Now, what the heck did he say? Get the tape and keep rerunning it, and you will remember this, because I'm not telling you anything that you don't already know. And nothing that you think is future information is really new. Everything you will ever find out has already happened. You are repositories of consciousness. In other words, whatever happens in the higher consciousness time zones filters down to you, and you participate secondhand. So all of your thoughts are secondhand transmissions that you participate in. Whoever you are, however healthy you are the ones to pick up, whether it be the evil energies or the higher energies of light. That depends on how pure you are. That's why your health is so important. And that's why they feed us the way they do. That's how they will coerce you to be putting up all kinds of fast food restaurants in your community. Fast death. That's why your children are not developing slowly. They are overdeveloping too quickly. Quick to ripe, quick to rot. 6'5", 12 years of age. Pituitary problems. The beast, those who serve the Lucifer matrix, know who you are. They know who you are. And they do their best to retard your melanin. Because that is the dark matter that must absorb the light. Do you understand what I just said? That out of the darkness came the light. But it is into the darkness the light goes, for it to be manifested and for it to be redeemed. We exist only in our own consciousness time cell until that point where we work directly with the hierarchy commissioned by the Overfather and the Overmother. Our time and space continuum are the dimensions of time cell consciousness that was ordered by the greatest star seed image. Did you hear that you were made in the image of the Most High? Did they tell you that? You know that. You don't have to be told that. Well, you see, what's happening is they have somehow distorted the image so that now you live the illusion of what the image is. And as a result, you do all kinds of madness to yourself because you can't even recognize the divinity within anymore. You have a cyst over your eyes. Your eyes are two now where they should be one. Even your Christ said that. In the 15th century, there were 115 earthquakes. In the 16th century, there were 253 earthquakes. In the 17th century, there were 378 earthquakes. In the 18th century, there were 640 earthquakes. In the 19th century, there were 2,119 earthquakes. In the 20th century, there is no record. Too many. The light is coming. And it's shaking up everything. You were listening to the tape earlier, and it said something about earthquake proof. There's no such thing. See, that's the same thing they've been pushing on our people about medicine. See, as a naturopath, I could understand the germ theory, because what they're doing is they're setting that up as not only a medical issue, but a sociological issue. They're telling you that a germ will give you a disease. And you believe that a germ and a virus will give you a disease. So now they appoint the people that will attack that germ, attack that virus. But you see, what they've done is they've conditioned you to believe now that your sons are the germ. And that your sons, your black and African sons, are the viruses. And they are going to surgically remove them. And because you believe in the germ theory of disease, you will believe that our black youth, who are the warriors that will make the continuum come to reality, are somehow our enemies. And they are not. Ezekiel 38:16 talks about we being the terminal generation. This is where it's all going to come to pass. Confucius made a curse, and he said, may your children be born in interesting times. That was a curse. Daniel 12, verse 4 says, the knowledge will be greatly increased. That's why you're here. Your capacity for knowledge has greatly increased. That's why the knowledge now can be given to you. The image is given by the higher intelligence as the configuration for connecting the spatial vibrations of the first chakra to the 7th, 8th, 9th of the higher evolutionary light. I mean, they've been teaching us we have 7 chakras. There are 360 different vectors of consciousness in the physical time zone. 33, those of us who are Mason, knows that the 33 has nothing to do with the degree of knowledge. It has to do with the 33 sections of your spine and how that energy has been qualified, how consciousness has been qualified from the base to the crown. You have 360 different points of light that make you who you are. You have 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13 chakras. And beware the New Age movement. The New Age movement is a way of giving you homogenized consciousness. What they do is they go and pull from your catalog, and then they put together a hybrid knowledge, hoping to defer what it is that you are going to get from the transmissions, the redemption transmissions. They're hoping that the New Age consciousness, and you know who's running the New Age consciousness. I don't have to agree. I see all of y'all down there at the New Life Expo. Just bear with me and absorb what I'm saying, because you will know it. One day you'll wake up and say, that's right, Reverend Valentine said that. Now I understand. Or now I overstand. Our movement towards the 5th dimension and the 6th root race begins with a mutual programming created by projected energy codes, creating an 8th and 9th chakra vibrating level. When this takes place, the 1st and 2nd chakras influence dominating organic three-dimensionality is changed. Don't worry about what I said, just absorb it. I have to say this. These are transmissions. The human system acquires additional 8th and 9th chakra energy fields, which are necessary to receive and send geometric patterns of light back and forth. Light is a projection of geometric patterns. Consciousness comes to us in the form of geometric matrices that we match to our own geometric matrix. We are going into a different membrane program at this time, The new program requires that the genetics of man function on a higher wavelength of light. Did you hear what I just said? The genetics of humanity must function on a higher wavelength of light. Why do you think the Lucifer Matrix has their scientists now messing around with your genes? Because that is the point. Your chromosomes and the helix is the way that the light is going to be condensed into consciousness, into you, fixing you to your purpose, fixing you back to the image that was God, that you remembered, not the one that was given to you. In order to accomplish this, the brotherhood and the sisterhood of light is accelerating the entire system of the human biorhythm to enter a less dense spectrum of matter energy. In other words, we are being fixed. Time does not seem to be making any sense anymore, does it? There are no more seasons, brothers and sisters, because that was the past consciousness time zone. That was the past fixing point for that lesson that was supposed to be learned. A whole new season is about to come upon us. A mono season. And don't believe some of the transmissions you all know, being here with me and being at my space. You know for a fact that I've been saying for the last 10 years that we're not having a global warming. We've never been having a global warming. Those were the scientists of the Lucifer Matrix playing with you. We're getting ready for another ice age. 10 years ago we said that life was all over this galaxy and that just a stopping point. The brothers and sisters from Chem was a nomad set of people that came from an interplanetary expedition. Now verification has come back in the Daily Times or the Daily News, same thing. One of my students called me up and said, Reverend Valentine, at the Times they said the Hubble telescope always worked. I told you that. I told you if they could turn it and see all the way into forever, why couldn't they turn it back on the planet and see you going to the bathroom? The Hubble telescope and that last expedition was essentially to fix the weaponry that's on that scope. They were putting the last fixes of that weaponry. What are they going to do looking back in there? What are they going to do when they find out what's back there? Absolutely nothing. They can't. And that's what's happening with us now. We're imitating this recessive cousin of ours. And don't believe this is not, I don't need this. This is for that. What has happened is these have gone. These have gone. These have gone. The four senses that you have, you don't have five. The four senses that you have, the fifth is sensation. Big difference. The four senses you have, the four living senses you have been attenuated to such a level that you can't even hear or see or smell better than a lower animal. If you are the crown of creation, why is it that you need glasses? You don't see them on any of the wild so-called beasts in the field. Take off your glasses. That's so you can't see. Think about it. The Hubble telescope and everything that technology represents is the fact that the Lucifer Matrix and those of the scientists of the Lucifer Matrix has to use technology as a way to enhance whatever type of consciousness they have. Technology is a way of enhancing their inhumanity. They don't have the human factor. That is why our civilizations opted not to deal in it. Our technology was this. If you notice, all of your technology is imitating one of these. New magnetic fields penetrate RNA module or RNA molecule modulatings, or varying the intensity of the field and causing the hydrogen atoms within us to produce more units as they relate to the geometric bindings of the DNA pentagram or pentagon. DNA has a pentagon as a matrix. Why do you think they set up the Pentagon. Let me repeat that. New magnetic fields penetrate the RNA molecule, modulating or varying the intensity of the field and causing the hydrogen atoms within us to produce more units as they relate to the geometric bindings or bonding of the DNA pentagram or pentagon. Realizing this, that the universe around us is gauged by many wave and particle factors of electromagnetism, we can realize now that man, as an electromagnetic computer, is under the control of a still larger gravitational time grid, which is different from our present spectrum. Different, because the spectrum that we can now tolerate is an attenuated spectrum. We are resurrecting. We as an Earth species have been using the wrong attitude, the wrong science, the wrong wavelength of measurement to try to penetrate gamma pulsations and other energy codes coming from our light spectrum, from other consciousness thresholds. And those other consciousness thresholds are Arcturus. It's another place called M42, another place called 3C263, 3C273, Tau Ceti, and Betelgeuse. What is he talking about? You know already. Once we accept the fact that the sons and daughters of light communicate beyond our electromagnetic spectrum, we all understand that they must imprint upon our spectrum new living energy codes which will raise the consciousness of our evolving species so that we may be encoded or uplinked into their larger consciousness zone, what I call a C zone. So if these codes are already placed in our present electromagnetic spectrum, we are being given information, but you have to be pure. You have to be cleaned out. Your bowels can't be full of McDonald's hamburgers. Your head can't be full of crack cocaine. You can't be drinking too much sugar. When the technical scientists begin listening to the spiritual scientists and begin to retool their electromagnetic measurements with the new energy codes of consciousness, the biocommunication signals from other species and in other galaxies can be received. And I will end with this. The sons of light are now giving us, and the daughters of light are giving us master control evolutionary a charter that you all must sign spiritually. When you surrender your personal ego, brothers and sisters, and identify with the One Most High, you are able to rise to that space-time overlap, working with your spiritual brothers and sisters throughout multidimensional space and time. This is essential for the ongoing fulfillment of consciousness, as we are one with the continuity and change within the evolutionary continuum. Get the tape and keep playing it. You'll understand. Trust me. During the present space-time overlap, there will be the passing of one energy universe within another. As our planetary mind crosses the present electromagnetic density threshold and is raised to the next electromagnetic orbit of the universal mind, at this point, we, the sons and daughters of humanity, become the sons and daughters of light. And we transplant ourselves into the consciousness light of other regions in other local universes around us. Spirit told me that this was necessary for us to say so that it would be recorded. And in closing, I want to say that it's time for you to put down dead things, dead histories, dead food, dead ideologies, dead concepts, and I mean education. Education is a poison. It gives once and takes twice. You have a place in this whole map of consciousness that belongs to you and you alone. And resurrecting that reality is the job that we've been sent back to accomplish. At this time, I would like to let you know that we will be giving classes and instructions on this and other resurrection involvement in the coming time and what we're going to be doing for the coming time. And that will be coming up in March. And we're hoping to see more people in scenarios such as this. When Dr. Blair came in and I heard a lot about him from the sister, I knew that